The Sydney Sweeney backlash has begun. Well, that's what they're saying. It's not quite what anybody else is saying, but you got to give the mainstream their runway. And here we have a runway for Jenny Zhang over there at Slate, which is, well, 2 steps above maybe Kotaku. And look, I know that's pretty harsh, and maybe Jenny isn't all that bad. In fact, the article is pretty decent up until you get to the paywall area, where at that point, after talking a little bit of sense, you wonder if they go on for the rest of the article to trash what's going on with Sydney Sweeney. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Today I want to talk about not just the backlash of Sydney Sweeney, but what steps she took to put herself in a position where she may lead us out of the darkness. Yeah, I know that sounds strange, but it absolutely could. And what better than an actress and model to actually do that isn't named Zendaya or a singer named Tay Tay? Not following me? Well, follow me here. Here we go. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder to stay subscribed to the channel. Double check right now, as a matter of fact. It's absolutely free. It's always free. And you won't miss a moment of information or entertainment here on this channel if you do so. And if you have the time, please hit the thumbs up button since you're down there anyway. And turn on all the notifications on the notification bell. And at the end of the video, or near the end, be sure to make comments down below and be part of the conversation. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Speaking of problems, the Hollywood press has their way, then Sydney Sweeney is head for a whole lot of problems. After revealing in Variety if Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, according to Donald Trump, then I think her American Eagle jeans ad is fantastic. Well, let's be clear. Everybody in the last 24 hours has learned that Sydney Sweeney is a Republican, or a registered Republican, and everybody probably already saw the rest of this coming. Not just the backlash, of course, but the fact that it would be used as fodder for politics and promotion, especially by the current occupant of the White House, Donald Trump. And you know what? He's not wrong. Take the opportunities as they come, and I would say the same thing to Sydney Sweeney. Because at this point, she can be the Pied Piper leading the fools out of the village and towards greater prosperity and away from the mouse traps that they likely continue to get caught up in most of those urban areas. But according to the article from Variety, Donald Trump appeared delighted when he found out that Sydney Sweeney is reportedly a registered Republican, amid continued uproar over her very popular and successful American Eagle jeans commercials. In fact, they're so successful, they launched the company up 16% over the course of the first few days. Not to mention the fact that it sold the jeans out of stock, and they're desperate to get even more and more out there, and kids and adults alike are clamoring to have themselves their own pair of American Eagle Outfitters jeans. Various news outlets, including The Guardian, recently reported the Euphoria and White Lotus Emmy nominee listed her party affiliation as Republican while registering to vote in Florida in June of 2024, a few months before Trump's victory over Kamala Harris in the presidential election. Notice how they don't say the drubbing that they delivered, but that's a different story. She's a registered Republican? Oh, now I love her ad. Trump told the reporters on July 3rd, I think it was actually August 3rd, while boarding Air Force One in Allentown. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised to how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known. But I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. And of course, that reignited the outrage online over her party affiliation. Like that really matters. Like people are really losing their mind that somebody who promotes maybe their pair of favorite jeans or maybe not, or is a member of their favorite television show, may have a different party affiliation to you. All of a sudden, they went from somebody that you idolize and adore, somehow they changed and they found themselves on the other side of your ire. Well, that without some serious performative garbage that had to have been done means you really weren't much of a fan to begin with. And your head can be turned by something as disgusting as politics. I don't particularly like certain actors, but I still go see their products. I don't have reverence for a lot of actors, nor did I ever. What I haven't done is change almost any of my behaviors because somebody decided to affiliate themselves with a different political party. I mean, to be fair, Rob Reiner's been a communist for my entire life, and that's saying something. Moving on, though, we need to get to the real heart of the story, the Hollywood career. Because as fickle as fans can be, and we can make fun of them like I just did a moment ago, we have a bigger problem here. We have a politically divided and divisive Hollywood, which does its very best to get rid of anybody who might be seen as conservative. So, like Jordan Rumi over at World of Real says, Sydney Sweeney's Hollywood career just got a whole lot more complicated. That's absolutely true. From the article, Jordan points out the Slate article that I had to start the particular video with. The actress has certainly had an interesting last couple of weeks. Yeah, making her, well, probably wealthier and probably on many more ad campaigns, because who doesn't want the pretty girl that sells things? I think everybody does. Thanks to scribes at such outlets as the Washington Post, Salon, GMA, and PMSNBC, Sweeney's recent American Eagle jeans ad has been dragged by some as racist and regressive. Yeah, they would know. The entire scandal boiled down to this. Sweeney's a blonde, blue-eyed white woman, and the American Eagle ad played on the pun's great jeans, which she tweaks to great jeans. Not only that, she does a little working on cars and sashaying away and all the things that all the guys probably wanted to see more than once. Keyboard warriors kept insisting the ad was a sneaky celebration of genetic superiority. Well, they need to go down to their corner in an urban center and look around for some clinics that you might not be familiar with if you are particularly conservative. Of course, the fools out there, the keyboard warriors, were demanding that AE pull the campaign. No chance. And there were even calls for a boycott. Go for it. You stink at them. You don't pull them together. You don't hold your own. You don't keep your wallet in your pockets. So, yeah, go do that. It came to the point where they said white supremacist accusations started circling around. Over the ABC's GMA First Look, a professor equated good genes with early 20th century racism, calling the ad weaponized white supremacism, which Jordan finds funny. I find funny. All intelligent people find funny, and I weep for the students that had to listen to that professor at any point in their lifetime. Jordan says, I initially stayed away from writing about this because, frankly, it was dumb outrage then, and it's still dumb outrage now, which I agree, which is why it took me this long to make a video. I was waiting for Jordan's article, apparently. However, there's a legitimate angle. Over the weekend, public records were uncovered, showing that Sydney Bernice Sweeney registered as a Republican voter back in June of 2024. A detail since confirmed by outlets like Entertainment Weekly and People, and unsurprisingly, fresh backlash has followed since. Just wait till we get to the damage that can do in Hollywood. And if it does, when do we weigh in on a discrimination claim? There's got to be plenty just brewing for Sydney. Of course, to make matters more combustible, Donald Trump has now weighed in, which we talked about just a few moments ago. As someone who follows the awards circuit, my first thoughts was, there goes the Oscar campaign for Christie. Even if she does a great job in it, I really hope not, but that's the way the cookie crumbles when you are as corrupt as Hollywood is. Sweeney has chosen to stay silent on these recent controversies, opting not to issue any public statements. It'd be a smart move. Anything she says is likely to be misinterpreted, other than, hey, it's a great jeans commercial. And it is. When it comes to Sydney Sweeney, I think she'll be fine. She can weather this storm. It's the question of whether or not she'll still be on some of the popular shows and in future film roles, because she may have just turned herself radioactive. I hope it doesn't affect her career. And if it does, I hope karma gets everybody else that makes that happen. What about you? That's right. It is time for your opinion now. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do you think Sydney Sweeney is seriously hurt by this? Do you think she's helped? Is she tossing the yoke off of all of our shoulders and allowing everybody to walk in the sun, speak their mind, whether your neighbor agrees with you or not? Is this her chance to be a leader in a different way? Or is this the giant cement block around her ankles and her career? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya! Maybe watching White Lotus.